Good evening, everybody. This is Colin Fahrenheit with MetalTalk TV. We're back today with a new episode talking to a legend amongst legends.
Oh, come on.
Let's go. This is Steve
man.
Lukather. How are you, sir?
I'm good. Stop with the legend shit. I ain't no fucking legend, man. Jimi Hendrix, Eddie Van Halen was a legend. You know?
He was, but you know, you're in that. For me, in that.
Thank you, but okay. I mean, let's. You don't have to do all that. Thanks.
No, it's true. But I mean, there's so much I want to talk about, and hopefully we cover. But I guess first of all, we got to start with your new record.
Thanks.
Which is I Found the Sun Again, and it's coming out next month. I've been very, very lucky. I've heard it, and I think it's really an inspiring record.
Thank you, man. I mean, you metal guys, I don't know, like, you know, I never felt, I mean, I'm a rocker, man. I always have been, but, you know, my band has confused people, you know. Sometimes we'll fucking do something heavy or prog, and then all of a sudden we'll do a sappy ballad or something like that. You know? So it's like, you know, you lose half, says, oh, those guys don't rock, they suck. You know, and we've had to take that our whole career, you know, because we like different music. I can listen to fucking Slipknot and the Carpenters in the same day and not be weirded out by it, you know. But other people can't hang with that. They have a specific genre of music they love, and that's it, you know, and that's cool. But I just had, as a studio musician, you know, I had to be prepared for anything. So my ears had to tune into whatever we were doing, whether it's Barbra Streisand or Cheap Trick or fucking Miles Davis, you know. So I mean, hold on a second, let me lose this shit. It's a robo fucking call. I have a regular phone in my house because I runs the computer shit. So the only time this thing fucking rings is either for an interview or if a robocall's trying to sell me carpet or something like that.
I remember.
It's mad.
I remember an old clip I saw. I can't remember what film it was, but it was Ray Charles talking about his recording, and he said, "For me, there's two music: good and music, bad music. That's it." And I always thought,
you have to look at it. I mean, like, if you hear a great bluegrass picker, what are you going to say? You know, I mean, I'm enthralled by virtuosos in every kind of music, from classical to polka. You know,
that guy can play.
Yeah, I mean, you can, even if you don't like the music. I've been in restaurants where you hear these fucking balalaika play or something. You go, this guy's shredding. He's fucking unbelievable musician, you know. And you go, and these guys are making fucking $30 a night for their life. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You just go, the virtuosity of some like Romanian musicians and stuff. It's insane.
It's amazing. But I was going to ask you about your new record, because you cut it all live. And first of all, that's something that you don't see anymore these days. And it's so refreshing. It's so refreshing.
Thanks. Yeah, but I wanted to do something different. Everybody makes the same record now. They all sound alike.
Yeah.
And the idea was to hire the right guys, and no rehearsals, no click tracks, no demos, no Pro Tools, no line it up and fix. I wanted to get a real performance. I wanted to see if I still had it in me. Those solos are keepers. That's what I played on the fucking day. After we get the take, I'd maybe double a guitar part or add a couple of acoustics and shit. But we did, and then I do the lead vocal at night. And we did that for 8 days in a row, and the record was done. And then we mixed it.
That's the way to do it. That's absolutely amazing.
And like no cheating. No going, well, let's, you know, can I move this or can I do? No, man, you can't. If I rush or I play a little bit sharp or something, I kept it, because if you listen to old jazz records, I mean, Miles Davis squeaked the horn once in a while. Coltrane did, you know what I mean? Jimi Hendrix didn't always play perfect, but it was so fucking soulful. Get back. No, human beings aren't perfect. Now we live in this world where everybody's doing their face, and music has to be, there's no rough edges, there's nothing. They used to say that we were slick. Are you kidding me? We were the Sex Pistols compared on what's going on now, you know?
Well, now it's so bad. It's like, I was going to ask you actually later on, because, I mean, forget pop music and whatever's going on now. I don't even, you know, we can even just brush that away from not being music. But
well, no, it is what it is. You know, it's background noise for multitasking.
Yeah, but it's like I was listening to especially some of the newer country guys and rock bands, and it's like they're using more auto-tune than I've ever heard in any disco record or whatever in the 80s.
Well, you have to understand something. That's just the way people make records now. Put it on the grid, put it this, tune this. They have a special engineer who does nothing but tune everything. So if everything's perfectly in tune, then nothing's in tune. It's like out of phase.
Yeah.
If there's no, It's like Keith Richards saying, rock and roll is, or Ringo and these guys, the whole thing about what made rock and roll interesting in the first place was you had half the band playing straight eighth notes and you had the other half playing jazz dotted, dotted quarter eighth notes.
Yeah.
Play that together. And that was the rock and roll. And that was that sloppy, wonderful interplay that made those records swing. And now if everything's
it kills it. It just kills
like a rubber doll, man. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, maybe it sounds big and huge, but like, and then has some amazing shredding going over it or something like that,
Yeah.
It's just different. Then people make records different now. I'm an old guy. They're going to go, oh, he's just an old bastard. Fuck him. He doesn't know how to do it. I had to learn, like, when I was 19 years old, I was playing with the big boys and I had to bring it every fucking day. So that's how we made records. Here's the fucking chart. We're going to run it through and then we're going to record. So it wasn't alien. All the guys that played on the record came from that same era.
Yeah.
And can do it.
Yeah.
So that's what I want to do, a record from the early 70s, but in 2020. Well, no cheating allowed.
I'm so glad you did it, to be honest, because it sounds fantastic.
For me, I wanted, look, I'm not trying to fucking write a pop thing. Me and Cardi B are doing a duet together. You know what I mean? It's just like it's like getting caught wearing my grandmother's clothes. You know what I mean? It's like that ain't gonna work. Yeah. It's like garlic and chocolate.
Oh,
you put them together.
That's the way. Well, I was gonna ask. You did. It's 5 originals and 3 covers.
Yeah, the covers I picked first because that wanted to set the tone for the kind of music I wanted to write and the kind of playing that I wanted to guys. We're gonna go back and do it. So that shit was all cut live. Those solos were live, man. Nobody's overdubbing and comping and fixing and tweaking and moving.
It's the real deal.
There's so many things you can do. You can make an album with your dog. You can.
And you auto-tune it.
Walk a bark, and then you can tune the thing, and you could fucking write a song with a melody with a dog barking, perfectly in tune. So that says all you need to say.
I'm sure that's going to win the Grammy next year.
Put these motherfuckers in a room with a band. Can they fucking all play together and make it sound like music? No. All at the same time, make a performance? They figure it out live afterwards. They have to figure it out how to pull it off live afterwards. Kind of like we did on our first record that we overproduced. Like, how are we going to perform this shit live? We had to bring in ringers and take extra guys on the road to sing and play percussion and shit. So, we figured out a long time ago we paint ourselves into corners every time we make a record because we make these big produced records.
Was that the first Toto record?
Yeah.
Damn.
We carried on through our whole career. We just said, fuck it. That's what we do. And then we'd figure out a way to play it live or bring other players along,
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can't really pick a favorite, but listening to you do the Traffic song, that High Heel Boys, that was just incredible.
That's one of my favorites on the record because it was everything that I wanted to capture. That was the point of doing the record. I used that song as a sonic test. Yeah. How to make. These guys did it live, man. They may have done overdubbed this and that, but I mean, it was basically live. And I wanted to capture that because those are the guys and musicians that I looked up to. If I can't do that, I'm not a real musician.
Yeah.
Even at 63 years old, doing it my whole life, they're still new. I wanted to put a new challenge in front of myself and go, well, I want to do this. This is kind of a vanity record. So like, I mean, I'm not expecting to sell millions of copies, but it seems people seem to like it because of the same reason. Like, I haven't heard a record like this in years. And the only reason why is because we actually really did it for real. And nobody does that.
I think people can tell the difference, right? That's why it strikes your ears. Like, this sounds genuine.
Musicians can, but like the non-musician will go, well, I like this, but I don't
know why.
Yeah. Because they grew up listening to computerized music their whole life.
Yeah.
That's the way it is. My son produces records, and he makes some big, bombastic, fucking huge produced records. And like, I go, yeah, man, I see where you get that from. Yeah. I go, but he can pull it off live. That's the difference. This band can play it live. Yeah. The singer's incredible. I mean, they opened for us on the last Toto European tour for a bunch of dates, and nobody knew their music, and they had the crowd on their fucking standing ovations every fucking night.
Wow.
They're that good. And now they made a record's coming out. Band's called Lavara. And they're on Mascot too. And that's ironic. Me and my son are on the same label.
That's terrific.
And you'll be hearing from them, and that's music that you'll dig because it's heavier shit, but it's melodic heavy.
No, I dig it all, to be honest. I was listening. I mean, I was going back through some of your catalog because it would take me, you know, a couple of weeks to go through everything.
Oh,
I know some of it.
I couldn't do that myself, you know.
But for those who don't know, I'm sure everyone watching basically knows. But besides being the
people are watching, okay, this is non-alcoholic beer. All right,
and this is key. We're fine.
You know, I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. It's fucking, you know. I do.
Yep. Damn.
Every day I practice. That's when I play the guitar in my office.
Do you still practice every day?
Not every day, man. This fucking thing is the motivation to pick anything up at this point is like, oh, this has really been a sad time for musicians, man, especially. For those of us that have been working for 45 years, it's really a strange new way of life. I mean, I love being home. It's fucking great. Sleep in my bed, I have a woman who unbelievably, I'm desperately in love with, who's cooks for me genius meals from scratch from our garden and all kind of shit, you know. So I'm living a very simple, humble life and trying not to get sick because I have a lot at stake if that was to happen. And you know, I'm praying for the sun to come back out. The sun came out for me when I met her. That's what the song's about. You know, because I was living in a real dark part with the end of the last version of Toto and the lawsuits. I was at an all-time low. I was going through another divorce with, you know, my son's autistic and everything just seemed to pile on. And here we are, you know.
Thank God.
Everybody has a much harder life than me. I understand that. So everybody's going, fuck you, you lucky bastard.
No.
Well, you know, everybody's
got struggles. Yeah.
You know, just because I've been doing this for 45 years and had success and I'm smart enough to save some money does not mean that I don't fucking pay dues every day emotionally like everybody else.
Yeah.
I can't leave. I can't go anywhere.
Yep.
I mean, I miss hugging my friends. I miss having lunch. All my favorite restaurants are going out of business. You know what I mean? I'm watching people lose it all. It's fucking horrible.
It's so sad. Are you hoping that, I mean, I don't know, to be honest, where the light is at the end of that, but hopefully.
Well, I don't think it's going to come out until 2022.
You think?
I mean, we had a tour on the books for late summer and shit. It's too soon.
Shit. Are you hoping to tour it that when
next time you want to be in a room with 10,000 other people?
Yeah.
It's going to be a while before anybody fucking really trusts the vaccine. It's going to, you know, so our business comes back last.
Yep.
So I got to hang on and, you know, weather the storm because I will fucking come back hornier than ever to play and bring the most amazing fucking band. And we're going to fucking kick ass. We'll make some new music. If that's all we get to do, then we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. That's what we all have to do every time we wake up in these days. Well, it's a new day. How are we going to get through this one?
We'll figure it out.
What horrible news do we get today? You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
I turn on every TV. I read the morning news and I keep up with what's going on. The political shit is such a nightmare. It's unfathomable, you know. At least we got a new guy. Thank God.
Here's hoping.
I got to be careful because now people, you fucking. Dude, I'm an independent. I've always voted either way, depending on who the man is.
Yeah.
I don't like.
For
Sorry,
sure.
I didn't like the man.
Yeah, definitely. No, I can understand that.
Like when your gardener, you know, perform brain surgery on you. It's like, you know, you're not qualified, pal.
Yeah, definitely.
6th grade civics test, and we'll talk.
Definitely. Well, I was going to ask you, going through your amazing discography, there's just so many points I wanted to touch on, but I thought if it was cool with you, what I would do is name an artist and an album that you sessioned on, and you just shoot whatever you remember from that album and the stories, whatever.
Okay.
Okay. So first one I liked, which is one of my favorite songs actually, Stand Back, Stevie Nicks. And I didn't know you were playing on that record.
Yeah, well, no, I am. What happened was they had made the record. I didn't know it was Prince playing on it. You know, I'd actually worked with him when I was a kid. I didn't know who the fuck he was before he was famous. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
yeah, he gave her the song, didn't he?
Shit. Go fuck yourself. Where were Stevie Nicks? Oh yeah, they'd had the whole track done. They were looking for somebody to play like a Billie Jean part.
Yeah.
So they actually hired David Williams, who played that part, rest his soul.
Yeah.
And they didn't like what he played. They got Dean Parks in to do something. And they did, and they were like, they're not quite there yet. So Jimmy calls. He goes, "Hey man, you know, I'm looking for this thing. I think you can do this." And I go, "Well, okay, I'll come down and give it a go." So I walked in. Shelley Yakis, the engineer, and we worked together because I'd done a Stevie Nicks record before that. Yeah. I did a bunch of stuff for Jimmy Iovine at that time. And they said, "We're looking for stand back kind of thing." And I heard, we need that, something to bounce over that. And I go, "Yeah, Billie Jean." I go, okay. I said, "Let's plug in DI, use this compressor, do this, blah, blah, blah." I said, "You didn't like what David Williams?" He goes, "It just wasn't right." And I said, "Okay, well, let me try something." And they ran the tape, and that whole take was one take. And I said, and they said, "That's perfect." Jimmy Iovine puts his head in around the corner. He goes, "That's great, man. What do you want to eat?" I was out of there in 5 minutes, you know?
Wow.
Yeah, no, actually, I stayed over and I overdubbed a couple of single line solo things in the middle. Waddy Wachtel played the slide shit. That was already, Waddy's one of my dear friends. I love him. So I heard that and I said, "Oh, well, let me do something against that," you know? Yeah. So they dug what I did there. I was out of there in a fucking half hour. I didn't even get to eat.
He still owes you a pizza. Yeah, there you go. I got the next one I was going to pick was mid 80s, Eric Clapton, Forever Man. And again, I didn't know you were playing that funky rhythm behind that.
Well, there's not funky rhythm really. That was the only session I was ever nervous on because fucking Eric. I talked my way onto that session because I heard Jeff was on. I'm like, I called up the contract. I knew that I'd worked with Teddy Templeman and Lenny Waronker a bunch of times, you know. Yeah. I says, "Fucking Eric Clapton, one of my all-time heroes. I want to play. I'll play for free. I'll play rhythm. I'll sit in the corner." And I got a call back. So, "Well, we called Eric," and he said, "Yeah, have him come down." Yeah. And I said, "When the first time I met him, I was like, you know, how many years did I lift up the needle trying to learn the solo Crossroads and shit like that when I was a kid?" And he was so gracious and nice to me. And I kind of like, I don't know what to play. Fuck. We jammed around a little bit. He was very enamored with my Bradshaw rig because it was that era. Yeah, it was that era. So I said, "Well, where are you playing?" He started messing around. He goes, "Wow, this is really," and he ended up buying one. And he just did his own thing with it. But I mean, you know, and now, you know, we neither want, you know, Bob makes some incredible stuff. I mean, but I've gone back to a little bit more, just a couple pedals on the ground play. Yeah. It just became very expensive to haul this shit around. And sometimes on the road, it would get a little moody and not work right and shit. And nervous and stuff. And that's only just because you take the shit around on the back of a truck and there's all these.
You're kicking it out. Yeah.
Anything can happen. One little thing comes unplugged, that fucking your whole thing goes fucked. Well, I mean, I was down in New Zealand and it all messed up on this. And there was nobody that could help me. So I had to plug straight into a fucking amp and play on G3 with fucking Satriani and Vibe. Oh, great. Talk about flying without a net. And
how then
I put a couple pedals on the ground. You know, I got overdrive, a little delay that I put in the loop, and that was it. And I did the whole tour like that. So I played, and I had to rise to the occasion because, you know, playing with Steve Vai and Joe Satriani, I mean, it doesn't get any better than those motherfuckers. And they're my dear friends, and I'm big fans of theirs. I think they had me along for the laughs or something like that. No. But, I did Mexico and Australia with them, and it was a great honor to say that I was a G once. But
yeah,
you know, everybody that's been a G is like, it's like being invited into the All-Star Super Bowl team or something. You know what I mean? It's like
best, wow. The best.
You know, I mean, I was invited by Joe. And Vi wanted me to do it, and you know, we're all dear friends. I mean, I seen Steve before it got serious. Vi and his wife came over for dinner. We hung out. He actually gave me this bracelet. That was good luck.
Oh, when I saw the G's, when I saw them
for a long time, you know.
Yeah, they're killer players. When I saw G3 in London, it was Satriani, Uli Roth, and Petrucci.
Wow, that must have been interesting.
It was great. And just this proggy shred, you know, it just has some magic. I hope they do it again at some point.
Well, you know, he always pulls it out now and then, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely. I haven't talked to Joe recently, but we've been back and forth on texting a little bit, you know.
Yeah. The next one I didn't, again, another one I didn't know from the mid 80s was that you and I think basically most of Toto was doing Joe Cocker's Civilized Man. The first half of the record is you guys.
Yeah. I mean, Gary Katz produced it. Jeff was always working with Gary on Steely Dan and stuff.
Yeah.
And I got, and you know, they called us to play. And it's a Joe Cocker. Are you kidding me? One of the greatest of all. And Joe was lovely. He was very, very, very quiet.
Was he all right?
He was at the time, you know.
Yeah.
He's not with us anymore. So I guess he's, you know, he's all right where he is.
Yeah. Because I think that was when he got sober.
It was a great honor to work with somebody that I admired so much. And he would sing live in the phones. He was singing live on the tracking date. So it was great.
Wow. I would have loved to have seen him. I mean, that's such a great record too.
Oh, thank you.
And let me see. I mean,
did a great job. I was lucky to play on it, you know.
No, it was terrific. I mean, the one, here's one that's got 2 points in between. They've got a decade in between. Alice Cooper, you did. But you caught Alice when he was at I think in not his creative best, was From the Inside, and then you caught him at 10 years later when he was an absolute comeback.
That's a really good record. I disagree. I think that's a fucking great record.
Is it? Okay.
It was a real departure for him. David Foster produced it, so you have some of those elements in it that Alice wasn't writing stuff like that. It was less straight ahead rock, and it infused that LA thing that we were doing at the time. I think I was 21 years old, and I wrote songs with him and Bernie Taupin and Foster for the record. I played on all the record with Dick Wagner and Johnston and stuff like that. So, I mean, it was a great thrill for me. It was one of the first big records I played on that was like, I played a solo on the hit. There was one ballad off that record, and I wrote a couple cool tunes. It wasn't the biggest or most loved Alice Cooper record, but I mean, I was thrilled to play with somebody that like, wow, Alice fucking Cooper, this is cool. And he was the greatest guy. Turns out my girlfriend is best friends with his wife, and we've been back and forth about trying to get together.
Oh, wow.
But, you know, it's impossible under COVID rules at this point.
Yeah,
you know?
Hopefully. Well, and then you came back a decade later and did Hell is Living Without You.
Well, you know, I just happened to be around. I think we were working in the same studio at the complex.
So come on down here.
Come on down.
Play something on this.
That's how I got on Roger Waters' record, you know.
Yeah. That was the next one I was going to ask, actually. Amused to Death.
Yeah, I mean, I met Pat Leonard in the hallway. We were working on Kingdom of Desire.
Yeah.
And they were working on Amused to Death in the back room. And the engineer was James Guthrie, who had worked with us on the past to present stuff. And it's like, Guthrie, I want to play this fucking record. I told Pat Leonard, listen, you don't have to pay me. I just want to play. He goes, well, Jeff Beck's playing most of the guitars. I go, well, you know, Jeff's an old pal and my hero. I go, if there's anything rhythm part or anything you're missing, I mean, I'll roll my shit down and plug in.
Yeah.
So they finally asked me. And I went down, I played on a couple tunes and working with Roger, and it was magic. I mean, it was just, I was so honored. And then I get to hear the Jeff Beck shit before everybody else. I go, oh, fucking Jeff Beck. There's nobody like Jeff Beck. No one. You know, I did dedicated, you know, my new song Journey Through that Jeff Babco wrote for me, the instrumental on the record. That's an homage to Jeff and all that. You know, and he's one of my all-time heroes and my favorite single note guitar player there is.
Yeah, for sure. There was one that I did, the last one that I wasn't really familiar with, and I've never found any info about, was you doing the Bee Gees, like comeback, one of their comeback records in the 90s, which was what, Still Waters.
I worked with Albie Galutin, you know.
How was that?
Albie's a real fucking microscope guy.
Yeah.
Really wants it fucking perfect. So we did, but he was also wonderful to work with.
Yeah.
He was, and like, you know, he was very generous, and you know, I was honored to work on a Bee Gees record. They're fucking great.
How was it doing, like, when the three of them?
They weren't around at the time because they live in Florida. I was doing this in LA with Albie because I worked on a Diana Ross record with him. I worked on a Odd Deal soundtrack with Schwarzenegger and shit. You know, he actually gave me writer's credit on a couple of cues and stuff like that. I still get text from me. You didn't have to do that. You know, it was fun. Cheech and Chong did that for me too when I played the joke solo on the movie. They actually put me on the track. She said, I've made like 200 grand off of that fucking session.
Off of the Cheech and Chong movie. I did
it in 1979 or whatever. I'm still friends with those guys, you know. I love them to death. Got to smoke a joint with Cheech and Chong. I mean, come on. I smoked a joint with Neil Diamond once. That was cool.
With Neil, I didn't know Neil was hip. I mean, I love his part in the last waltz, but I didn't know he was.
Maybe I shouldn't say that, but you know, Neil's a very, he's an older guy now. Maybe he doesn't do that, but I was the only one. He's sparked one up, and he looks. He's in the booth. David Foster's producing, and he was a bit of a tight ass with all that shit.
Yeah. So Neil says, "Let's go out back."
You know, and he sparks us up, and he goes, "Hey man, does anybody want a hit?" I'm looking around the room. Nobody's going for it. I'm going, "Yeah, I'll take a hit, Neil." And then, you know, we started talking. I smoked a little bit of weed. I took a couple of hits. I mean, I can still read the parts and play. I mean, I didn't get baked or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to say I smoked a joint with Neil Diamond. What the fuck? It's a cool story. Neil was very hip. I'm a huge Diamond fan, man.
Yeah.
Come on, Diamond.
For sure.
Songwriters of all time. See, I love that kind of music.
Yeah.
But I can also dig, you know, heavy, dark, fucking tuned down, fucking heavy shit. You know, I love that
everything.
Too.
The light and shade. Like, that's the beauty of it.
Music, okay?
Yeah.
That means everything.
Yep. Everything. That's the way. Everything good. No auto-tune.
Good is subjective.
Yeah.
You know, I try my best, and some people hate the shit that I play. And then I'm the same way, and I don't love everything either. I don't expect everybody to love me. I'm a flavor. You like the flavor? You like the flavor. You know what I mean? You don't have to get ugly about it. You know, it's everybody online. They're fucking keyboard guys. They fucking cracks me up that people actually spend the time to set up a page just to tell me what an asshole I am or how funny I look or whatever. It's, you know, I don't really read this shit because it's like, why? I don't want to hear how great I am. I don't want to hear how much I suck. I just want to fucking get through it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm gonna look, or my son will say something. I'll look and I'll go, oh fuck. Everybody's being nice. Everybody's being real nice except for like one guy. You know what I mean?
I'll come find you, Timmy.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like, and then you go, out of curiosity, who the fuck is this guy?
This guy.
And it sets up a page, nothing's on it except a fake name. And you go, oh, I make you so angry, you have to waste your fucking life doing that. What a pathetic soul, you know?
Man,
it's like, oh, okay, you have fun making fun of the way my hair looks. Oh, you think it's fake? Well, it's not, you know. It's like, you know, do you think I'm ugly, or you think, oh, you look stupid, or I can't talk because I've had 3 teeth pulled out of my head. Everybody's go, oh, he's got the sniffles. Oh, he's doing blow again. It's like, fuck you. Who at 63 years old does blow, for God's sake? I haven't had a drink in 12 years.
No, it wasn't. I was going to say, I mean, you just said all those, like, before the Keyboard Warriors, there were the critics who didn't know their ass and their elbow.
Yeah, and we got the shit beat out of us from that from day one. So I'm used to it. You have to learn to laugh at it, otherwise you fucking kill yourself.
Yeah. Do you think that was you guys?
Everybody gets haters, man. The God.com people, like, how many dislikes? It's fucking hilarious, you know? I mean, really? You know, that's where
God too? Yeah, exactly.
That's where your empty soul goes, boy. I feel sorry for people like that.
But do you think it was funny, the more popular Toto got in the 80s, the bigger and bigger, and the more Grammys and the more everything, you still had those people who, whatever magazine or company publication they were, that just didn't get the band, that didn't get the music.
When we won the Grammys in 1983, record of the year, we'd already won. We were like going, are you fucking serious? Is this really happening, man? Is this a joke TV show or something? You know, and at one point we'd run out of people to thank, and David thanked Robert Hilburn, who was the worst LA music critic, hated us more, and he was writing pieces about the Grammys. Those guys better not fucking win, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So David Page goes, I'd like to thank Robert Hilburn for leaving. And we got a huge laugh from the crowd. And he wrote another article. I can't believe that how dare they? You know what I mean?
They thanked me.
It was like, we just laugh at it. We go, fuck it. What are we going to? Here we are winning album of the year. And we played on 50 of the albums that were up that year. Okay. I won for best R&B song for George Benson. You know, Turn Your Love Around. I wrote with Jay Graydon and Bill Champion. Totally different kind of music. You know, between Jeff had played on the Night Fly, which was up against us. You know, which I thought that was the album to win. I mean, Jesus, that's a Desert Island favorite for me.
Yeah.
We didn't see this coming at all. We couldn't even believe we were nominated, let alone. Well, I wasn't even a member of NARIS. I couldn't even vote for myself. We were surprised at anybody. And then everybody really hated us.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't deserve it. Well, the only reason why we won is because we know everybody in the business. It's like, oh, really, man? I couldn't even vote for myself. It's like nobody was more surprised than us. And then there was a backlash, and then our singer got busted. We had to change in the middle of the stream. So that's when we got Fergie and did Isolation.
Yeah.
Which was a great fit for a minute, but then we wore him out because Dave insisted on writing songs that were 3 keys too high for everybody and killed every singer we had.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know that's why he left. I thought that was like just musical chemistry, but I didn't know that was the key thing.
There was a lot of, he just lost his voice because he was too much.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we were all guilty of to some degree, but I mean, if I took a belt sander to my hands every day and said that I couldn't play guitar, I'd get fired too, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, stop doing that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Well, okay, I can't, you know?
That's the
poor
way.
guy, Bobby and I are still close. I mean, poor guy's got dementia, you know? I mean, I talk to him on the phone, keep him lucid for a minute, then he goes off. I'm like, you know, I love you, buddy, you know? There's no bad blood between Bobby Kimball and me. That's the fucking media just runs with this shit, and they love a dirty laundry. Like Dan, I played on that one too.
Yeah, the Don Henley,
yeah. So, but I mean, they love the dirty laundry. They want to see people fight. They want to see successful people have problems or whatever.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
For sure.
You know, I may have smarted off and said some shit a long time ago because when he was using the name, and there was friction for a while. But come on, we grow up and let go of this shit. Bobby's voice was iconic.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll be keeping in touch during the year with all of this other exciting
news. It was incredible. I was listening. I don't know if I can pick a favorite song from that record, but "Good for You" might be one with your solo at the end.
That was one we wrote together, man. That was like, you know, I was just jamming in the studio because Dave was late, and I was playing. I played piano on that track. That's me playing piano.
Really?
I played piano on the track. They kept the fucking part. I overdubbed the guitars. Then David walked in the back door and saw there was a Jupiter 8 on the wall, and he started playing, you know, and that was just, roll the tape, let's do this. You know, I had to write the bridge on the spot. Fuck, I don't have a bridge, you know. Okay, but listen, let's do this. I wrote the bridge of I Won't Hold You Back in the studio the day we were cutting it.
Wow.
I didn't have that. That was written on the date. I said, okay, I got it. And then David walked in, he goes, I'll play it.
Yeah.
I said, good, you should play this. You guys cut it, I'll overdub the guitars. And that's what happened.
How long would it, on average, take you guys, for example, like something from Toto 4 or like that era, like to cut a track and cut a record?
Rosanna was take 2. We never heard the song.
Whoa. That was take 2.
That's how we did the whole record. Who's got a song today? That's how we did our first record.
Well, you can't get better than Hold the Line anyway. I mean, you still listen to that track.
Shit, Dave's got a new song. Let's do it.
Did you ever throw stuff back, or was it just coming so fast that?
No, there was some stuff we chucked out. Some of it we revived, brought back to life.
Yeah.
On the box set, you know, we were able to insert a new chorus and still use Jeff's bass part and maybe change Mike's bass note on something like that on a Melodyne, so we could keep the original tracks from 1981.
Yeah.
And we were doing it in, you know, a few years back when we did the box set, like 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So it was like I was playing with my 20-something-year-old self, and we tried to, you know, hearing Jeff's count offs. I mean, it was sad, bittersweet. You know, it was great and heartbreaking at the same time. You know,
for sure.
2 of the guys in the band aren't with us anymore. You know.
Yeah, God bless them. Well, I mean, is Toto ever gonna tour again? Because
Joe and I have a new version of it, you know. And we have you know, we did a live stream, which was you know, everybody wants to see it again. Yeah. We've been offered a DVD deal for it, you know, just as is, raw as it is, you know.
That's the way.
Sounds really good, but you know, the lights and we're, you know, how do you fucking play in front of no people? It was really weird, you know.
Yeah.
At the end of the song, like, you know, our family wearing the mask and shit, like this. And Paige standing in the middle like this, going, after he'd rehearsed the band for 10 days with me, you know, like he was like
back to club days.
And then he got up and played on the last few songs. So
yeah.
A little bit of history there, you know. So people will get to see that. It was, you know, Joe mixed it, and you know, actually Ken Freeman and Joe.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm just trying to keep my head up, man.
Yeah, for sure. There's only one.
I'm gonna have to cut this short. I got another one coming in.
Oh, no worries. I mean, I got only one 80s guy to name. One, if you can do it in one sentence. Yeah. What's your abiding memory of Michael Jackson?
Great.
Abiding memory.
No, he was first time he called me, I kept hanging up on him because I didn't believe it was him. That's in my book and all that shit. But no, Michael was great. He was really nice. He used to come and hide at David Page's house.
Really?
Just show up.
Hiding from the press.
He liked us.
Oh, okay. What? Hiding for the paparazzi, or just like
he found us, you know. We worked on all Thriller and shit like that. He was a fan of the band, and hey Luke, you know, it's like, you know, we were not best friends or anything like that, but you know, we spent time together, and he was always great. He was not really nice man, real pro. I got no weird Michael Jackson stories.
No, for sure.
No, I certainly didn't do anything. I mean, he was always a pro and really on his game, and really knew what you want. And if you started dancing a certain way, you knew you were in the pocket. You had it. It was fun to see like this guy 2 feet from me, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Him and Quincy Jones in the fucking room, you know, I'm not fucking playing for him. You know, it's like, you know, and we came up with this part, and we came up with this part. I came up with the part for Human Nature. There was nothing there. Quincy just goes, you got to give me something funky, man. I got to get this on R&B radio. Because it was just a simple, you know, so I came up with all that part on the spot, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Well, sorry, it's been an absolute pleasure and an honor speaking to you. Everybody,
I'm sorry I got to cut you short.
No worries. No worries.
All right,
everybody
man, thank you very much.
I'll see you. Have a good one.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Cheers. Bye.